Welcome to another live Pittsburgh Sportsline TV show in the BPTV studios. Thank you for watching us tonight. And I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. We got Smoking Jim Frazier, Chip Hayner, and our special fill-in co-host. We've been missing a co-host for about, 3-4 years. Nick Callis is here. And he's actually not related to me. He grew up in Greentree, and he goes to Keystone Oaks. I just had to clarify that from some pre-show stuff. So we'll get into some promos here. Sorry, there's a lot of pressure.
But he does pay well.
You know what? I'm looking for that money. I don't see any money here. Olive Oil's Pizzeria, they help sponsor our show. We used to eat pizzas. Tonight we could have had one. Smoking Jim came in at 5 minutes and 22 seconds early. That's a new Pittsburgh Sportsline record pre-show. But they sponsor us with pizzas. We can't get them because of COVID and Smoking Jim when he gets here. Chip and I are here from a half hour to 40 minutes early. Nick and Anthony are here a day before. Connor comes in about 15, 20 minutes early. And we used to have pizza. Connor can tell you those stories because he said he didn't want one, then he'd eat 3.
But wait a minute. When Connor comes in and it's 12 degrees outside, he's in shorts and a T-shirt. Now it's 80 degrees. He's still got the shorts rocking, but he brings in the hoodie.
Well, I asked him a serious question. Thanks for bringing that up, Chip, since we're talking. We got Anthony in the control room. Nick's also here helping out. Connor is too. And I said to Connor, you're finally dressed for the weather, because 80 degrees isn't bad. And I said, what's it, chilly in Baldwin, because you got a hoodie on? He goes, no, it's like Monroeville. It's always sunny.
Yes, sir.
I don't know where he got the line, because I'm an innocent babe, but I had to share that. It just came to me.
Well, you know what Baldwin's got that Monroeville doesn't have?
No.
A nesting pair of bald eagles.
Oh, I heard that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Or a kicker.
Yeah. Yes. Back to Olive Oil's Pizzeria. Great Italian food. Pasta, you name it. Salads. They got special desserts. 412-831-1900. So check them out. And then as a special request, a friend of mine, as you all know, I had a kidney transplant over 18 months ago. Well, she asked me if I could talk to a lady named Kathleen. And I have a little information about her, and I'll put this up so you can see the nice lady, Kathleen, and she needs a kidney. Her kidney functions down to 17%, and they say the next year or so she may need a transplant. I'll just read a little bit about it. She was diagnosed in 2011. Smoking Jim, that's 10 years ago, because they don't know math at Gateway. And with chronic kidney disease, that's what I had, CKD. I had no issues or symptoms, and it progressed to the point where she's now on a waiting list for a kidney transplant, where I got mine at the Thomas Starzl Transplantation Institute at UPMC. Sorry, this mask is limiting my speech impediment. My doctors feel that because of my health, a living donor is my best option for a kidney transplant. It usually takes 5 or more years to receive a kidney transplant. So they're concerned about her health. And if you want to donate a kidney, you can contact UPMC at http://livingdonorreg.upmc.com. And you need to put in the name Kathleen Miller. And she's O positive like I am, so you have to be O positive to donate. But if you donate a kidney, they can switch you with others to get her a kidney. So I'm going to keep putting this up for a while, and hopefully we can get a transplant patient and a donor. Thank you. Next up, the Bethel Park Historical Society Schoolhouse Arts and History Center. 2600 South Park Road, can't miss it with the trolley there. They got Reginals Coffee, my favorite green tea place, roasted coffee from around the world. And the last couple days, my son and I take a cruise. We took earlier cruises before 2. He goes, Dad, you want to stop in? I go, I already drank 2 cups of green tea. I'm only allowed 1 more, so we didn't stop. People were sitting out there talking in this beautiful weather and drinking their tea and coffee. So check them out. Next up, we end each show with, let's see what Connor does. I forgot to compliment him. Let's see if he can handle this. Whoa! Look at that. We say, stay Joey strong. The Joey Thavis Childhood Cancer Foundation. Poor Joey died when he was 9 years old, just before his 10th birthday, with a dreaded brain cancer, DIPG. His family's raised over $100,000 to get a cure for DIPG. They've given it to the doctors. Unlike Smokin' Jim, who knows nothing about medical or science, I'm not picking on him. I'm just saying what we said earlier. Whatever he says about medical or doctor things, he's no granny. Remember the hillbillies? She's doing some doctoring. Guess what? He don't know doctoring, and he don't know doctor. But he has a great opinion about it, and we're not going to discuss that on the show. We'll just try to keep him on the NFL draft tonight, because we need to know. But please donate $1 or your time to the Joey Thavis Childhood Cancer Foundation. Thanks for my humor. This son and the haircut I forgot to tell you about from Marianne at Azazu last week, because Chip was saying I was getting shaggy for about 3 weeks, and Marianne wasn't in for 2 of those, so finally caught up.
My nails are getting long.
Well, she doesn't do nails there. Now we found out Smokin' Jim don't know nails. We're starting to cover everything. Let's see what Connor did here. Look at the view of all of us. Wow. All right. Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you. They got grants from $100 to $5,000. Since I'm on a Smokin' Jim pick on him tonight, they don't have money for gambling. If you haven't started gambling, don't listen to Smokin' Jim.
Neither does Jim.
Yeah. Chip, that is excellent. Thanks for joining in. I'm just trying to keep Smokin' Jim humble. I'm trying to keep him humble here, because he had a streak. You can check the tapes, Nick, since you like looking back in history. In the beginning of each year, I go, if you're not betting, don't start. If you do bet, do the opposite of Smokin' Jim. And I'd say he lost between 4 or 5 out of 7 the last 3-4 years on Bet the House, which when you bet the house means put all your money on this one. And he lost 4 out of 7 and 5 out of 7, Nick. So that's serious. So I say don't bet, do the opposite. Now this year, I have to change it, because with football, the season was crazy. But look at basketball. For about a month, he had these lockdown bets that he couldn't lose. I think it was 2 months. And I don't know where he got the $250 a day, because I figure he was out $15,000. Then he told me he won a game that he bet $250. Then he doubled it up. Then he had LSU. Then he had Baylor. I didn't hear one mention of what he won. So don't start. The money's for good groups. You can go to www.bpcf.org, get an application. I'm a trustee, and we can get money for you. That's what I'm telling you. Whew, glad I got that out. Smokin' Jim, I can't pick on you for this one. Dave Cable put me on Uncle Sam's face, even made me do a commercial. It's pretty good. Once in a while it's on our show. You can say, tell them Uncle Al sent you, the talking machine, to be a volunteer. I want you for BPTV, 412-831-3304. You can be like Nick. He worked his way because he wants to have a career in broadcasting. So if you want to message me on Facebook how Nick's doing, or on Pittsburgh Sportsline, you can tell me. You heard Smokin' Jim knows how to announce. So I trust him on this one. What does he have?
He got the voice.
Now his voice is so quiet now. What happened to that volume he had?
Yeah, you.
That was a
Oh,
prompt for it.
we'll get there.
Okay, you sure? All right, well,
He hasn't been talking yet.
give a call then at BPTV and tell them you want to be here and have the fun with Pittsburgh Sportsline every Thursday night, 7 to 8. All right, now all of you that watch the show know the big test we have for, who is this guy? Connor. All right, let me try to position it. I'm getting old, so I don't know if I can hold it steady. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. He did it perfect. 6103 Library Road, that's Route 88, about 6 miles away from here. Skeets Service Station, owned by Skeets Lewandowski in Finleyville. 724-348-4715. They work on anything and everything that runs on gas. Put gas in it like Chip says. They even have extra gas there once in a while. I've used it once. So go out there. They'll work on your car, your truck, your weed whacker, your boat, your tractor trailer, your tow truck, whatever you have, they work on it. And even hedge trimmers. So check it out. They work on electronic devices. They can fix those too. Smoking Jim's been out there for a couple service things and stickers, and they're all legit stickers. Not like Smoking Jim, oh, sorry, I'm picking on him again. Not like he's bought in the past years with that big rinky-dink truck he had that I said, wow, that's a nice sticker. He goes, yes, it is, machine. These are legit, and he does a great job. So we'll move forward with that. Less said, the better. And he sponsors What's on Your Mind. So segues right into What's on Your Mind, Smoking Jim Frazier.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine, and if you want the green,
Overhand
you
fastball.
got to see
He got it.
Levine.
He can catch.
God.
And I tell you what, thanks to Al Levine, the talking machine, even my sanitizer is green. Get a little hand sanitizer on that. You deserve credit. You deserve credit. I want to thank my good friend Chip Hayner for letting me know that the Grapefruit League is different than the regular season. Thanks, Jim. I've been fun. Hey, I tried to get you guys on 57 and under, didn't I, Chip? You stepped away from easy money.
Wait till he rebuts you. Timeout. Ding, ding. Ding, ding. Round one.
Hey, listen, all I got to say is this. We know Gateway don't have a kicker yet until Connor comes there. But I'm not sure if Waynesburg has a kicker. 66 to nothing. I mean,
Hey.
Washington and Jefferson. Tell me, did you cross midfield? But hey, I know Washington and Jefferson is tough. Hey, I got a question for you.
What's that?
I asked these guys and they don't know. Have you ever met a white guy other than the first president with a last name Washington? All Washingtons are black. Don't you agree?
No.
You know a white guy named Washington? Last name Washington? No, you don't.
We
No
went
such
through this.
thing. No such
Think
thing.
about it. It's
Hey,
bizarre.
Think about it.
Hey, how did Waynesburg do in the second game? I didn't get that
Yeah,
report.
they haven't scored a point yet. They
Well,
lost 51 to nothing.
we don't know. Do they
Really?
have a kicker? Or they no kicker?
No, they just weren't close enough to the goal post.
Al Levine, the talking machine.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
What? What?
You and Chip is out of this. I need Anthony. I need young people. I need Nick. I need Connor
Right.
to build me a GoFundMe account, man. Listen, I've been so red hot. All year long I've been on Baylor. I told you Baylor and Gonzaga was going to play for the championship. I got a little tip. Gonzaga was going to blow them out by 30 points. I put everything, stone cold, left pipe lock, everything I could get on Gonzaga. And then, I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine, if your dad would have been refereeing,
Yeah.
Gonzaga wins. 30 seconds, 30
Whoa,
seconds
whoa,
into
whoa.
the game.
Whoa.
30 seconds into the game.
My dad was an honest referee.
That's what I'm saying. They had some crooks. 30 seconds into the game, Gonzaga's best player gets 2 fouls and has to go to the bench. That's it. The fix is in, man. The fix is in, Al Levine, the talking machine. But hey,
Typical Gateway excuse. Anytime you lose, it's the ref's fault.
Thank you, Chip.
2 fouls on the best player in the 30 seconds. He had to sit there. If Gonzaga plays 10 more times, they beat Baylor 10 times. Congratulations to Baylor. I was riding with Baylor all year long. I was red hot.
I got one question.
And I went down and down hard.
I got to ask one question.
Down goes Frazier.
I gotta ask one question to everybody out there. You know he bets $250 every game. He lost $15,000 in 2 months at the end of the year. What could he have possibly bet? So my only question is, what did you bet, and then what did you win?
Well, the last
he won't give an answer,
listen,
folks. I rest my case.
I'm on a 6-game winning streak betting against the Pirates. And that's what's on my mind. That's
Hold
what's
it.
on my easy money. I'm coming back, fella.
Hold it.
Go fund me.
I gotta bring this out because all of you heard me loud and clear. I asked one question. Did I get an answer?
All my winnings is tax free. I can't tell you how much I'm winning. It's tax free.
You can't get taxed on winnings if you don't win.
Thank you, Nick. I'm glad he's on your side. I'm glad Nick's on his
I'll
side.
put some money on CMU since I got all that pirate money in my pocket.
All right, enough of smoking, Jim. Let's go to Chip Hayner. What's on your mind?
Oh, thank you, Alan. The Stanford women won the title.
I watched that.
And hats off to Baylor. Baylor ran Gonzaga out of the gym. And, and I knew something was up when Gonzaga was a 14-point favorite against UCLA and beat them on a last-second shot in overtime by 3 points. So
You were skeptical.
hats off to Baylor. Next up on the college basketball scene, we've had a Hall of Fame coach retire and then another cheater fired. Okay, Roy Williams of North Carolina, who's never really been caught cheating, though there has been accusations, has retired as North Carolina's head coach. And Sean Miller has finally been fired in the University of Arizona. And
How could that happen?
Oh, how could that happen? Recruiting violations, and I will say no more. But,
What about the phone calls they had him on?
No, they had him on wiretaps talking about payments.
Didn't matter,
so,
right? People said it didn't matter.
But
I think even Smoking
Arizona
Jim was saying
is going to raise their standards and get back to their previous glory. So also in the sporting world, yes, it's opening day. Today was the Pirates' home opener, okay? And the Pirates opened the season last Thursday with a stunning victory over the Cincinnati Reds, and then they proceeded to fall flat on their face. The Pirates now stand at 1-6. There's two ways of looking at it. You can laugh like Jim, or you can say, well, geez, it really can't get much worse, right? There's no place for them but up. And that's the way I kind of look at things, because I'm always going to look at the glass as half full. And for the first time in a year and a half, I am going to sit down and enjoy a baseball game at PNC Park on Saturday night, and I'm very much looking forward to that. I have missed going to a ball game, and I truly, I'm gonna enjoy that. Now, what else is going on in the sports world? And I'm just taking a really stroll here. Today is the opening of one of the greatest golf tournaments of the whole entire season, the Masters.
Yep.
If you get a chance this weekend to watch any of the Masters, some of the most beautiful holes, the most well-manicured, landscaped holes with the azaleas and the rhododendrons in blue. Those are flowers. Okay, you'll see some
Go
amazing
to your
golf.
neighbor's yards. Go to your neighbor's yards in Monroeville. I still don't know where he lives, but he says a lot of white people live near him. So they'll have plants like this.
Well,
No black people in my neighborhood.
yeah, well,
That's what I just said.
and so right now
Race card.
in the Masters, we've got 12 players that are under par after the first round. Jordan Spieth is still on the course, playing the 18th hole. He's at 1 under. The leader is Justin Rose at -7 under, followed by Harman Matsuyama at 3 under par, and four players tied at 2 under par. So first round, one of the favorites for the tournament, Bryson DeChambeau, the guy that
What happened with him?
hits the ball a country
500.
mile and then some. He was a +4.
Wow.
So he's got a lot of ground to make up. But Augusta National is a tricky golf course to play, but it's one of the most beautiful. If you get a chance to watch, I know a lot of people say watching golf is like watching grass grow, but it is a beautiful course, and it is worth spending a few minutes.
Before Smoking Jim asks his question, Tiger Woods won't be in here, and the police report was he was only going about 75 when he hit the tree and 45 miles above the speed limit.
He was going between 84 and 87 miles an hour,
Right.
but they did not feel any need to cite him for anything. And it's interesting how they said that even though in his accident there were no skid marks, so he never put his feet on the brakes, but they didn't feel it was necessary to draw his blood or to do a breathalyzer on him, because they didn't feel that there was probable cause enough. Okay. Driving a car 87 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour zone, flying off the road with no skid marks. Okay. That wouldn't pique my curiosity.
What's his name?
Did they give a ticket to the husbands, that the woman that he was cheating with? But hey, listen,
No.
That was bad.
I thought that the guy tried to commit suicide. I think you don't think Tiger Woods could have been cheating with somebody? He got a history of doing that.
Well, you see, I would need to see facts to believe that.
The facts is he didn't hit the
No,
brakes.
you're actually a journalist, and somehow the facts always seem to escape you.
Well, here's
And
some,
the microphone.
Here's some facts for
And
you.
the mic.
I'm
Get
trying
the
to
mic.
learn something. Here's something I'm trying to learn. Here's a question.
Here's what you got to learn.
I
How
thought-
many tickets did you get with all the accidents that you had when you couldn't see due to cataracts? And how many vehicles did you go through? And then let alone your other accidents and then your other health issues.
Wait,
Where do you have
I can't remember yesterday, but let me ask this question.
CTE?
I thought Major League Baseball All-Star and the Masters was moved out of Georgia this year. No, just baseball.
We don't talk politics here on
I'm
this
just
show.
asking.
This
I'm just
is a
asking a
sports show.
I'm just
The
asking
Major
a
League
question.
Baseball All-Star game got moved, but you can't move the Augusta National.
that's
You can't
what I-
move a golf course.
Okay, I thought it was bad.
It's
But
a little
But here's the
difficult.
question I got. Have
Political.
Have you ever heard of the Chamber Club in PNC Park? I heard that's a beautiful place to watch the baseball game. That's what I heard today. First time. Have you ever heard of the Chamber Club?
No, and I've toured
check it out.
I've toured every inch of PNC Park.
Okay, well check it out.
I've been to more than 400 games there probably in the last 10 years.
Well, if you
I've
haven't
never heard of
maybe
it.
I heard the wrong thing, but I heard that's a beautiful place to watch the baseball game.
How would anybody know
So
to
are the
talk
seats that I have
baseball with you?
on Saturday
You're
night.
in a bad seat in the
How
house.
would anybody talk baseball with you is the question I have.
Yeah.
And then the question is why?
Maybe that's pulling my leg.
Why were they
I
even
said I'll
talking?
ask Chip about the Chamber.
Can you tell
Yeah,
me who it
just
was?
like
I would go.
just
I
like
would
you were
go.
going to believe Antonio Brown signed with the Steelers on April Fool's Day.
I did believe that.
How did
I did believe that. Yeah.
All right, let's leave this discussion. Smoking Jim,
wow.
we're going to have to
That's
not
what's on my mind.
Thank you, Chip. And no more questions from Smoking Jim, especially if they're dealing with politics, science, or medical and baseball.
That's what I heard.
Well, he does hear voices and his memory's shot. That I'm not a doctor. I'm just observing his behavior. We'll go to what's on your mind, Nick.
Oh boy. Well, speaking of the Pirates, I saw a Facebook comment that said the Pirates bats are practicing social distancing well because they're not making contact with anything.
Whoa.
So, at any rate,
That's your opinion.
That's
We're
my
okay with that. Yeah.
yeah, I just thought
We
that was.
understand.
I thought that kind of hurt. But
And being a
Um,
baseball guy, we respect that.
yeah. But I'm announcing CMU football on Friday, so tomorrow. So hooray to that! More
What
opportunities
time's the
coming along.
game? We'll
6
make
o'clock.
sure we'll go out. Go
6
there.
o'clock. 6 o'clock. That's when the game starts.
6
They're playing,
p.m.
playing
Okay.
Geneva College. Smoking Jim. Nepotism's on my mind.
Yes,
Do you know
sir.
why? I created my BPTV portfolio for my internship class, and one of the pieces of the portfolio I had was a montage of the nepotism.
Explain what montage is.
A bunch of clips put together showing every time you
you.
made a comment
I'm
regarding
not making fun of
nepotism.
Smoking Jim. It's pick on Smoking Jim tonight. He's being honored.
The reason I did that though is because I was like, I'm going to show my supervisor. I'm like, hey, I moved up quickly. They let me direct the weekend. So thank you for that. But do you remember the first nepotism comment you made? You remember what day that
I
was?
can't remember yesterday.
He's been hitting the head so
Right,
many
well,
times at Gateway.
I shouldn't have asked that.
Yeah, they didn't know that it was damaging. They used to tell him to run into the brick wall, and he took his helmet off and said how many times. That's a true story.
Yikes.
I heard it from 13 different people from Gateway who never saw him play.
Oh, boy.
No,
But
14, I think. Yeah.
November 24th, and it's still
Tell
going.
him what year.
He made a 2020.
Because he doesn't understand.
2020, November
Thank
24th,
you.
2020. And
Glad we got that
And he
out.
made a nepotism comment before the show, so that's been going on for this long. So hooray to that.
How many months is that?
December, January, February, March, April. About 5.
Okay.
So congratulations on making the joke run that long. 5 months and I guess still counting. So
Well, you
that's-
got to give the history. He said that we're related
right.
because we went to Keystone Oaks, and he lives in Greentree like I did.
He thought you were firing Anthony. I watched back the first time. He's like, "What are you? Is he taking Anthony's job?" No, we're working together now. But hey, I was just getting people fired for my
Hence-
benefit.
Hence the volunteer statement that you're volunteers. Glad we clarified that.
That's what's on my mind.
Glad your resume looks good. Wow. Mine will be short, folks. I was watching basketball. The Stanford women, I got to give them all the credit in the world. I watched that game. I remember when my dad refereed girls' basketball games, Catholic games, and he would talk about how good the girls were with fundamentals. So I said, Dad, you got to be smiling on Stanford with the threes, the plays, the passing, the defense. It was just a great game, both teams.
I have always said, and I know he makes fun of it, but if
He
you
can't help
truly love the game of basketball and you want to see basketball in its truest form, don't watch the NBA, don't watch the NCAA men's basketball, watch the women, because they ball movement and setting up the shots.
Oh,
They do an amazing job of playing the game fundamentally sound.
right.
And Gino
Chip,
Auriemma
yeah.
is probably one of the best advocates of that. He's won 11 national
Don't
championships.
put words in my mouth. Nobody loves women's basketball more than me. I've been saying that for years. My dad loves the women's game, so
Yeah, but you said you wouldn't watch it with him,
I don't watch basketball.
except when he's betting on it. But no, my dad was saying this way back in the 60s. You can do the math because Smoking Jim can't. But he would say it then. There are grade school games that he was, refereeing because they need referees.
They weren't good in the 60s. Women basketball weren't good
He
in the
made
60s.
that statement then.
They would dribble
So,
once and pass. That was the rule.
here's what we're finding out. Nothing scientific, nothing political, nothing medical, nothing baseball, and now nothing about women's basketball. We even had one of the basketball stars, Ashley Battle, one of our greatest guests, and guess who she played for?
She played for UConn.
And what did they do?
They won two national
And who
championships
coaches
with
them?
her. Swin Cash, I co-MC.
Gino Auriemma.
Yes, just trying to clarify that Smoking Jim.
Well, here's one. Who does Russell Wilson's sister play for? Stanford. She's a starter for Stanford.
There you go.
Light-skinned black girl.
And he doesn't watch the games and he doesn't bet on women's basketball. Now I'll talk to what's really on my mind. That was the setup to the men's basketball. I always watch the finals every year. I don't play March Madness. I'm not into that like these guys are. And Chipper had good success. My dad won many of those March Madness things. He'd go, Alan, look, I got a winner. And he goes, wait a second. I got another winner. I won 2 of these.
Wow.
And he did that a few times. Guys would call the house. His name was Saul. Saul, who do you like? He goes, I got a couple upsets in there. They go, give them to me. And he picked them, and he won money. So that's true. So I'm watching Gonzaga, and I'm like, Chip, when I saw they're all out trying to beat UCLA, and UCLA's taking it to them, they're leading most of the game.
That was a great game.
One of the best games that I've seen in
And I
basketball.
mean, it was back and forth.
And
UCLA
there was
gave
no
as good
quit.
as it got.
Either team, there was no quit. UCLA played their hearts out. Gonzaga played their hearts out, and I loved how at the end of the game, when it was tied, they didn't take a timeout. I liked the flow of the game, and they gave it to Suggs, who's quite the player out there as a freshman, and he threw a 33-footer. Figure that out, Smoking Jim. And he used the backboard basket, and a winner.
Take it to the bank.
That was just one of the best games. That's why I wanted to bring it up. I've watched a lot of basketball, been at basketball games with my dad. That's one of the best. I saw City League championships and everything. Saw some of the best players come out of Pittsburgh in the 60s and 70s. And this game topped all of those games. It was that good in my mind. Because I still have a memory, Smoking Jim. I know my catcher on my team in Little League, Greg Kirby. If you ever watch the show, he's down in North Carolina living a good retired life. He was a great catcher. His hand would be bleeding from my fastball. And we'll be back with some fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine, my man Chip Hayner. And I tell you what, the smooth one with all the swag. You white guys don't know about it. The hoodie is the swag. No matter what the weather, man, if you're smooth, you wear a hoodie, man. My main man, Nick, my favorite fullback. And I tell you, the guy that makes us look good, never a hair out of place. Got the best show on BPTV, my main man, Anthony, on the ones and twos making us look good. Hey, real quick, Al Levine, the talking machine, and Chip, just going through my wish list for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just offense. Next week I'll go for defense. There's a quarterback out of North Dakota State. I would trade Devin Bush right now for a warm six-pack to move up to get him. Trey Lance, 6'3", 230, reminds me of Patrick Mahomes. Probably be going way too early. Me and Chip love Najee Harris from Alabama, 9,000 yards in high school, 4-year starter at Alabama. Only thing I don't like about him, Al Levine, the talking machine, if you ever hear an interview, he sounds like a white guy. I don't like black guys that talk white. I want to close my eyes and be able to know if you're black or white.
Anthony, if you're watching, race car.
Love the running back from Clemson. Chip and I both love the African from Clemson. But there's a running back that if we can get him in the third round, maybe the best on the board. Stevenson from Oklahoma reminds me of Barry Foster, 6 foot, 250 pounds, and just runs hard. Here's a guy I would take if the Steelers had a little guts. I love the little man, Michael Carter from North Carolina. He can't block now.
Okay.
5'8", 200 pounds, real quick and catch and run, very productive. Deep year wide receiver, you can't go wrong. I'd love to get baby Gronk from Penn State. 6'5", 260 pounds, can catch. He's a white guy.
Say his name so that people know.
I can't pronounce it.
Fryermuth.
There you go. I didn't want to butcher it. Pat. I know his first name, Pat.
How about little Gronk?
The highest rated guard, there's not many guards in this draft that I care about. It's a deep year for tackles. My highest rated guard since Alan Faneca.
Okay.
Went to a little small school called Wisconsin Whitewater. 6'3", 325 pounds, runs a 4.8 40. He's mean, he's powerful, a great leader. He would come in and automatically be better than Dotson, and I love Dotson. This is the future, and his name is his name is Quentin, but he pronounced it Minor. I don't know how you get Minor out of M-E-I-N-E or Z, but that's how he pronounces his name, Minor.
E before I, except after C.
I don't know about that, but that's what's on my mind. I'll
Gateway graduate.
Okay, what do you think about the offensive lineman out of Oklahoma State? His name's Tevin. I can't remember his last name. Yeah, he's a and they say he is a violent run blocker.
Yeah, outstanding.
Wow, I like that.
And there's talk about the Steelers potentially going for him in the first round, even though I believe that the Steelers are setting themselves up to take a running back in the first round.
Yeah, you might be right.
You know, but
what's your thoughts, Smoking Jim?
Well, I always believe in drafting the best available player.
Chuck Noll used to say that.
But if you're going to get a guy who's 6'5", 270, runs a 4.5 40, and an absolute monster like Bud Dupree and draft him in the first round and then don't re-sign him, what good is it going to do? When you got a guy like Devin Bush who's useless on your team.
One disclaimer.
And you move up in the draft
disclaimer. We haven't had a losing year in how many years?
Huh?
We haven't had a losing year.
We've been cursed.
No, I'm just trying to bring up some facts, not opinion. every year we haven't had a
8 and 8
losing
ain't
year.
losing?
Like 14. No,
That is correct.
8
Yeah.
and 8 ain't losing?
That's correct.
What'd they teach you at
How
Gateway?
about 8 and 9 now there's 17 games?
No,
No, you mean
Well,
9
there
and
hasn't
8.
been. Okay.
You'll have to do the math when you
You mean
figure
9
out
and 8.
losing.
9 and 8.
Yes, but my point of this is Smoking Jim is given a draft grade of 9. I mean of D every year.
D minus.
Well, sometimes it starts out at D, and it subtracts the D minus, and we haven't had a losing year. And I'm confused
Ain't
on
got
that.
nothing to do with the draft. I say farewell to welfare. The Pittsburgh
No,
Steelers,
I'm
everybody,
just confused.
every free agent wants to play for the Steelers. It ain't to draft you. Name one cornerback the Steelers had since 2003 when I drafted Ike Taylor. They haven't had one.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They get them from other teams. They come in like
So the
Kevin
Steeler
Greens and all them.
reputation, not their draft pools in the players. That's your point.
They do good with wide receivers.
No, but I mean,
so
I'm
does
trying to
every team.
narrow him down to a point. He won't answer just a simple
The
question.
tight end, the starting,
I rest my
the
case.
best 2 tight ends in the last 5 years have been from other teams, right?
Yeah.
Vance,
So
McDonald
to
and-
make sense out of it, the people just watching the show, you're saying the draft is usually bad, but we attract players because of our reputation who are good.
I didn't never say the draft was bad. I rated it a D. I gave it its true value.
Excuse me. In Gateway,
That's 60 out of 100.
in Gateway, what's an A?
A is
90 to 100?
90 to 100.
Okay, so you're saying 60 is a D. In Gateway,
I'll tell you, in Gateway,
That's a problem.
Gateway and A is ducking Pine Richland last year.
Oh! Oh!
Chip is on fire. I'm ending this segment right now. That
cool.
shuts down that
That's
segment
cool.
with Smoking
All
Jim.
right, so
So we'll go to Chip Hayner now. Come on.
all right, everybody. So this week on our trivia,
I can't wait.
last Thursday was the opening day of Major League Baseball. Today was the Pirates opener. So what I would like to discuss today is the best opening day performances in Major League Baseball history.
Wow.
And the statistics go
I
back
love
on
it.
this to 1901. But the number one, these rankings consider both individual accomplishments and how much they contributed to the team. And number one, the big train, Walter Johnson,
Whoa.
starting pitcher for the 1926 Washington Senators. Stat line, 15 innings pitched, 6 hits, 0 runs, 3 base on balls, 9 strikeouts. The result, the Senators beat the Athletics 1-0. At this point, the big train was already approaching the end of his legendary career. 38 years old, had already put in 5,000 innings on his right arm
At 38,
and
he
would
did
pitch
that.
his final 18 games of the next season. But some magic still left. His stat line speaks it all.
What a game.
Number 2 on the list, Clayton Kershaw, starting pitcher for the 2013 Los Angeles Dodgers. The
Smoking
stat
Jim
line,
never heard of him.
Really?
the stat line, 9
Don't
innings
follow
pitched,
baseball.
4 hits, no runs, no
Wow.
base on balls, 7 strikeouts, and 1 home run at the plate. The Dodgers beat the Giants 4-0. You know the old National League motto, to shut them out and hit one out.
Yeah.
It rang true for Clayton Kershaw this afternoon when at Dodger Stadium against the rival San Francisco Giants. Number 3, we go back to the Dodgers. This time, April of 1999.
Whoa.
Raul Mondesi, stat line, 4 for 5, 2 home runs, a base on balls, 6 RBIs. The Dodgers beat the Diamondbacks 8-6. No position player has contributed more to a season-opening victory than Mondesi, who posted a 1.056 WPA on opening day in his final year in Los Angeles before a trade to Toronto. Mondesi began the game 2 for 3, including a single and a walk-off of Randy Johnson,
Wow.
Hall of Fame pitcher. However, the Dodgers trailed 6-3 entering the bottom of the ninth. We're down to their last out when Mondesi came up against Greg Olson. He cut loose on a 3-0 peach and launched a game-tying 3-run homer.
Wow.
2 innings later, with 2 outs and a runner on base, he went deep again for a walk-off. Number
game.
4, Jim Presley, third baseman for the 1986 Seattle Mariners. His stat line, 3 for 4, 2 home runs, 1 hit by pitch, 6 RBIs, and the Mariners beat the Angels 8-4. Presley reached base in his first 2 plate appearances, but it was his work over the final 2 innings that made his opening day notable. With the Mariners down to their final 3 outs, Presley launched a game-tying 2-run homer to send the game to extras. Then with 2 outs and bases loaded in the 10th, he went deep again. Remains one of 3 players with a walk-off grand slam on opening day, along with Milwaukee's Sixto Lezcano in 1980 and Oakland's Matt Olson in 2020.
Wow.
So the best opening day performances, there's 10. And when I say 10, there's 10. There's not
13,
18.
14,
Right.
15.
And this one I personally feel should be number 1, but that again is just my humble opinion. Bob Feller, starting pitcher, 1940, Cleveland Indians. The only pitcher to do this. His stat line, 9 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 runs, 5 base on balls, 8 strikeouts. The Indians beat the White Sox 1-0. Feller is the only pitcher to record a no-hitter in an MLB season opener, already a 4-year veteran. 2-time All-Star in 1940. Feller was just 21 years old.
Wow, and he could pitch.
Next up, number 6, Kirk Gibson, right fielder, 1986 Detroit Tigers. Stat line, 4 for 4.
Wow.
2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Tigers beat the Red Sox 6-5.
I heard of him.
2 seasons after this, Gibbs season would hit one of the most famous home runs in baseball history to help the Dodgers win the World Series against the Oakland A's.
I remember that.
His performance on an early April afternoon at Tiger Stadium isn't nearly so legendary, but it was a fantastic single in his first 2 at-bats, driving in a run, mashed the go-ahead 2-run homer off of Bruce Hurst in the 5th. After the Red Sox moved back in front, Gibson launched another 2-run shot in the 7th.
Great Michigan State football player.
That's why I knew.
Now this one here is for my dear friend Jim Frazier,
Uh-oh.
even though he will never see the Hall of Fame. Number 7, Pete Rose, left fielder for the 1974 Cincinnati Reds. Stat line, 3 for 5, 2 doubles. Oh, wow. He did it without singles. 2 doubles, a base on ball, 3 runs, and an RBI. No one lived for opening day quite like Pete Rose, whose 31 hits in those games is the all-time record. And Rose never got off to a better start than he did in 1974, reaching base 4 times in a back-and-forth affair. Number 8, Dimitri Young, a designated hitter for the 2005 Detroit Tigers. His stat line, 4 for 4, 3 home runs, 1 hit by pitch, 5 RBIs, and the Tigers beat the Royals 11-2.
Wow.
So you can pretty much figure out what went on with that one. I don't need to get into specifics. Number 9.
Uh-oh.
And this was the year before the year of the pitcher.
Okay.
Bob
67.
Gibson, a starting pitcher for the 1967 St. Louis Cardinals.
How'd I know?
Stat line, 9 innings pitched,
Oh.
5 hits, no runs, no base on balls, 13 strikeouts.
Wow.
Cardinals beat the Giants 6-0. And Bob Gibson and domination, those 2 words go hand in hand. Nothing more needs to be said.
One of my heroes.
And last but not least, and Jim will remember this one,
No way.
G. Walker, right fielder for the 1937 Detroit Tigers. His stat line, 4 for 4, a double, a triple, a home run, and 2 runs scored. Tigers beat the Indians 4-3.
Wow.
Walker helped the Tigers win the World Series in 1935 and hit .353 with 55 doubles in 1936.
Wow.
On opening day the next year at Detroit's Navin Field, he batted 5th behind Hall of Famers Mickey Cochran, Charlie Gehringer, and Hank Greenberg, and in front of another Goose Goslin. But this was Walker's day. Not only did he hit for the only opening day cycle in Major League Baseball history, he did so in the minimum of 4 plate appearances.
And share that cycle with Smoking Jim and the fans.
Do you know what a cycle includes? A single, a double, a triple, and a home run.
Not in that order. It could be any order.
I need some baseball education from Chip.
Okay.
Give it to him.
El Levine, the talking machine, told me last week in the parking lot when I was at Roberto Clemente's 3,000 hit, I was scared when he went for a double because I thought he might get thrown out and lose the 3,000 hit.
No, he would not have won. He would.
What did
No,
I
he
tell
would. He would have. He
No, Al
would have
didn't
got.
say
It would
that.
have
I was
counted as
here.
a single. That would have still been his 3,000th hit.
See, I never knew.
See that? So if he would have got thrown out at second, that
We're
would have
still
counted
talking
as a
about it
single
outside.
and a fielder's choice.
But here's the education I want to get from you. My last baseball game, I went 7 of 8, but I had an inside the park home run. I got thrown out at home, so really I went 8 and 8 then, right?
No,
I
yeah,
went 8 for 8.
yeah, because you hit a triple.
Yes, 8 for 8.
Smoking
But
Jim.
then again,
Who told you were 7 for 8?
Now wait a minute, everybody. Here's my disclaimer. Okay, if it isn't documented, it didn't happen. Okay, show me the proof.
No, here's one
That was
question.
my last game.
Here's one question for all you fans so you can listen to me. Who told you were 7 of 8?
I just assumed because I got thrown out at home. It was my first at bat. Then I
How'd you
went
know that
7
the
in a
other
row.
7 were hits, though? How do you figure
Yeah,
that
7
out?
more hits after that.
He didn't know.
But I didn't know that I was 8 for 8 all these years
No,
later.
wait a minute, everybody.
How many years?
Wait. What he's failing to tell you all, this is his last game in T-ball.
Great one, Chip. They didn't even have T-ball back then. Their dads held the ball and they hit it out of their hand with a plastic bat. That was their T-ball. Chip, thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed the opening days. Now we'll go to Nick and his special segment. Go ahead, Nick.
His nameless segment.
Yeah,
No,
we haven't thought of
haven't
anything.
thought of a name
Unless
yet.
you can think of a name.
We'll,
Nepotism is alive and well. What do you think?
we're working on it. That's
Okay.
like that
that's
one.
something like that. Yes.
Just, a little suggestion.
Al and I are covering a Pinewood Derby race this weekend, so that's going to be exciting. A little Boy Scout thing going on.
9:30
I'm thinking
in the
about that.
morning it got moved to. It was
Yeah, I
from
know.
1 to 3.
That's fine. Doesn't matter what.
Guess how
when it
far
is,
away
but-
it is from my house?
3 minutes.
Less than that. It's across the street.
Is it?
Yes.
I'll still have to make a trip, but that's okay. No, but I was just thinking too about.
I'll be there with a cup of green tea.
Right, yeah. I might be in your Facebook post.
Yes.
Let's go. Might be that early.
No, it's at
No.
7. You won't be that early.
Oh.
7:15.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking all these sports are going on. I'm getting hired to do all these sports, and I'm feeling
Good.
overwhelmed. School's going on. Graduation's coming up. Then I thought of something. Like, you know what? Sports are back. So what? The Pirates are on the border of abysmal so far this season, right? They're not doing great. So what? All these sports are coming up in one season. We've got about 9 sports at Waynesbury that we got to cover, have staff for to do a bunch of NCAA required, sports information and stuff.
Excellent.
But you know what? I'm just sitting there thinking, it seemed overwhelming at first, but sports are back. Baseball has a full season again. The Pirates get to be bad, and that's okay. I'm excited that when I'm done with graduation and my schooling's over, that I'll get to go to PNC Park and watch a baseball game again. And I'll get to, enjoy sports as, the COVID protocols continue to go down. And I just wanted to spread that message to everybody else. You guys here, let's be grateful that sports are here. Let's be grateful Smokin' Jim gets to give his terrible opinions, because at least there are opinions to give. Am I right?
Nick, I will tell you this.
Yes.
I will truly savor every moment of being able to watch a baseball game live and in person on Saturday night. I didn't realize how much I missed it watching baseball being played last year in front of no fans. I love the game, and I'll always watch it. I'll stop and watch a Little League game. I don't care. I don't have to know who's playing.
I've done it.
I just
Come to Waynesburg again. Yeah.
I love the game that much. But I'm going to sit back, and regardless of the outcome of the game, I'm going to enjoy the atmosphere. I'm going to enjoy watching Major League Baseball played here, one of the most beautiful stadiums that I've ever been in.
That's what I'm saying. Be grateful. Sports are back though, and I just wanted to
This was the be grateful
that's what I'm saying.
sentiment of Nick.
from a sports.
We'll move on from that now, Anthony. We're running out of time, so. On location. location, as we're not doing on location, we're supposed to do boxing on May 1st. I haven't been notified. I'll have to get the Smoking Jim's contact. Jim, talk to him. We'll see what happens if we can set it up. We were on location with boxing a few weeks ago, or a month ago now, and just had a great time there. So if you're thinking of any on location, you want any sports ideas out there, we will travel to do Pittsburgh Sportsline TV shows on location. So keep us in mind. You can get a hold of me, 412-973-9611. That's my cell. No scammers, because they're already sending stuff to me, no problem. But you can give me a call, or just on Facebook, reach out to me that you're interested in some type of sports team event. We've done shows for the Miracle League and other places on location, so we can do that. And that's all I have there. And we're going to just go right into Penguin talk to end this. I just wanted to share with Penguin, the trade deadline is on Monday. I expect nothing to happen, Chip, in my opinion.
I feel that's going to be how it's going to go. And by the way, the Penguins are up on the New York Rangers at 1-0.
Yes.
At the end of the first period. And to be very honest with you, what are you looking to get, and what do you have to give up that could get something back in return?
Good point.
And I think with the way that the Penguins have the same problem that the Steelers have. Issues with the salary cap, because they've maxed out on so many other contracts.
They've been juggling for years. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, if you look at the way the Penguins played in the entire month of March, they were by far the best defensive team in the NHL. And so the last couple of games, they gave up 15 goals in 2 games.
Right.
Okay, so they...
Smoking Jim, what's the average of that?
The wheels came off the bus there for a minute. Now, will the Penguins get back to playing the kind of hockey that they played in March?
I'm hopeful.
Because for everything they did good in March, if they don't tighten it up and finish out the season strong, they could still end up on the outside looking in.
Your prediction at first may be right. You may have to rescind your...
Well, there's a reason why they play the games.
Oh, it definitely is. No doubt. No doubt about that.
Nothing's guaranteed. They built up a nice little cushion, but some of the teams behind us have games in hand.
Sure.
So, there's...
We'll see how it works out. That's why it's 56 games this year. So.
And, I heard Evgeny Malkin started skating by himself, which is the first step in the recovery process, because at first you will start working on your conditioning. You skate by yourself, no contact. Right. Gradually work your way to a point where you can practice with the team with a non-contact jersey on, and then as you continue
to interrupt you, do you feel he'll be back before the end of the season? Because I'm starting to wonder about that.
Well, there's 18 games, so I probably would not expect him for about 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
But I do think that they need to get him back and healthy before the end of the season so he can get up to game speed. Because
I wanted to bring that up.
In the regular season, you've got one level of intensity, and Jim can speak to this too, because you see it in the NFL. Yeah. Regular season is one level of intensity. You make it to the playoffs, and you're in a one and done situation. It gets ramped up. So you want to make sure that he's prepared for that kind of.
And that's my question with it, because he was doing so well before he got hurt. What is that?
Pass at the L. Maybe that's
Club Cambria.
Maybe I was pronouncing.
Oh, you were.
Okay.
You did. Isn't that in the hotel? That's not even in the ballpark.
I didn't know. Somebody just
the
told
Cambria Hotel is right next.
Somebody told me it's a good place to watch the game.
That might even be the Penguins. There's a hotel next to them. I thought it was by that name or something. We'll have to find out. Did it say it was at the Pirates? Oh, okay.
Have you been to PNC Park before?
Yeah,
yes.
Chip got his tickets.
Me and Smoking Jim, we'll share this story real quick. We had a Jessica Lee show to go to, and we said to Chip we'd meet him probably a little bit later, because Chip goes, I'll be at the game. I'll be there for the whole game. So we had to park. There was this Little Ease bar on Liberty Avenue, so we parked a couple blocks away. Smoking Jim one place, I don't know where, me in another spot. So we went and did our show with Jessica Lee. We did a Pittsburgh Sportsline show with the jazz musician Jessica Lee. So I go, Smoking Jim, we going? He goes, I don't know. I go, well, it's not a bad walk, and everybody knows how he walks now. It's not normal.
It's on the club level.
So we walked to the PNC Park. We get there about the third inning, maybe the fourth inning.
Yeah.
And we get there, find the seats with Chip. We're sitting down enjoying the game. And then Smoking Jim, about the sixth inning, goes, Machine, we gonna leave because, you know, I'm parked far away. I go, I'm parked in the same place about where you are. I go, it's right off Liberty Avenue.
Chip never hooked us up again.
So we left.
I
in
had
the
4
seventh
seats on
inning.
the third baseline. We were
Great
as far
seats.
we were as far away from Pedro Alvarez as I am for Connor. And Steven Strasburg pitching on the mound
Yes.
with Bryce Harper as a young superstar.
Young player, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And
So-
Smoking Jim goes, Machine, we got to go. I go, hey, Chip. You
And
know
this was
I'd
when the
stay.
Pirates were winning.
Right,
You know, the ballpark was packed. I had 4 box seats.
right.
Well, last year I was supposed to throw out the first pitch, but it got rained out and then COVID.
Last
So I guess.
Whoa, wait a minute. The season was canceled and then resumed.
Or was that 2 years ago, Michelle?
I think 2 years ago.
I think Dr. Fauci had a better
Yes.
opening day pitch than he did.
Well, with all this, we got to end this show, but that's the story with Smoking Jim getting another early yacht at a baseball game because he don't really care about baseball. But thanks for watching our show. Please stay Joey strong.